Hi everyone, welcome to this week's question and answer video. My name is David, this channel is Demar's Coaching, and I'm answering your guys' questions from the last week's video that I do every single Monday. I encourage all of you to please ask me anything you want down below in the comment section. Make sure that it's the last video, the most current Q&A video, and come back next Monday for my answer. Let me know what you think, please. Let me know if I miss a question or if I misunderstand it, or if you don't understand my answer. Keep a dialogue going. Keep asking me questions about the same experience you've had, and hopefully I can help you understand it. I encourage all of you, please, if you haven't already, to support a petition I made last year. It's Stop Narcissistic Online Bullying. It's at change.org/stopbullies. Please, if you haven't already, please consider signing it. It's a petition to stop online attacks of all ages, from all people, all around the world. All you have to do is sign it. There's no more obligations. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you. And all I ask is that you guys give us your locations when you ask a question so we kind of know where you are. Thank you. Let's get started. First question is from Sammy the Bull Fitness, or he's just saying, I signed your petition. Thank you. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you. And Ollie originally from Oahu, Hawaii, used to live in Portland, Oregon since 1974, and I just moved back to Sacramento, California in October. I have no questions for you today. Thank you, Ollie. We lived in Portland at the same time, just to let you know. Maybe we've ran into each other. Stephanie from Northern California. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you, David, for helping me understand what's happening to me and how healing is possible. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for telling me. We're all capable of healing, okay? All of us, everyone is capable of healing from emotional trauma. All right? All right, let's get into a question. Here we go. Melissa, don't know where you're from. Let us know next time. Thank you. You answered a question for me over a year ago, and in your response, you looked directly at the camera and basically validated my experience. Of course, you're looking at the camera, but for me, on my 40-inch TV, that's a big head, you spoke to me. I couldn't put my finger on why that experience was so profound for me. You took the time to read my comment, and even though you're a complete stranger to me and I you, that was a moment that brought to my awareness how much healing I needed to do. And even a year later, I can't remember the question, but I remember how you made me feel. So I'm reaching out over a year later to say thank you for that. It was profound to me. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for thanking me. You're very welcome. You are worthy and deserving of attention from people to let you know that we all care about each other, even if I don't know you. I wish the best for you. Okay? Treat yourself really well. Heal from this. You will. Nessa. David's a lighthouse. Ask questions and he will help you understand that you are probably being abused. Talk therapy works. Good to hear the guy got help with CPTSD. It's a good, safe space here. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. That's sweet of you to say. This is a safe space. You're safe here. I don't let bullies on here, toxic people. They get maybe one chance to say one thing and then they're gone. Ross, I don't know where you're from. Let us know if you can next time. My ex-wife ghosted me only after 2 years of marriage, no notice. Came home from work and all of her stuff was gone with a letter saying how horrible person I was. Total coward. Total coward. And I am so sorry, Ross. That is awful. You guys had plans to spend the rest of your life together and only 2 years and she just disappears and doesn't tell you why. Telling someone they're a horrible person is not closure. It's not telling someone why you're leaving, just you're a horrible person. Why you know? And when it's general like this, it's usually not true if you can't say why. Just a horrible person. I'm really sorry, Ross. Nobody deserves that, and I hope that maybe you're talking to somebody. I might hope if you need to feel better about that. Happy me. Talking is so important. I'd rather speak to David than a licensed therapist. Most therapists never experience the damage we experience. David, I think you would be the best help. Well, for some, thank you very much for saying that. Happy me. And I love your name still. Hi again, David Danny from Gold Coast, Australia. Hi, Danny. I've posted a few times, so one last try. Well, I'm sorry if I'm not getting them. Make sure they're on the very last Q&A. And thanks for typing it again. I found your weekly Q&A helpful and informative. Part of my therapy, in fact. I was 7 years in, married for the last 18 months of the BPD mess. God, only 18-month marriage after 7 years. I got her to leave in 2018, but still cleaning up the chaos. She has totally split me and has intense disdain for me. Anyway, my question is about us as victims and the tendency for GPs, which would be general practitioners, to overscribe SSRI drugs. They are the first go to when I or one of my girls go to talk about anxiety. I still battle this condition, but I've seen what SSRIs do to the borderlines. It's like pouring petrol on their fire. Like they constantly need their love tanks filled, my ex quoted. But SSRI would not just block their reactivity and impulsive behavior a bit, it also blocked their feelings of love and attachment. It's not selective. We just call it antidepressants because that's the biggest reason people take them. But there really should be called, if it wasn't a business, right? If it was truthful and honest, but it's not because it's a business. And businesses and companies don't have a conscience, so we can't expect them to. But they need to be called what they really are, and it's anti-emotion. Maybe it brought on the inevitable, but I noted things got worse when she took these things, and the doctors hand them out like lollies. Where'd you say you're from? Australia, yeah. We don't say lollies over here. It makes me angry when my girls get these pushed on them by doctors who are not psychiatrists, and I offer talk therapy to my girls' previous marriage. Thanks so much for the channel. It's my weekly grounding. Like, subscribed, signed, shared, divorced 5 years and still haven't escaped the chaos, but fighting on. Cheers, Danny. Thank you, Danny. I'm really sorry. Man, maybe a little help would make a bigger difference faster, huh? I feel like I just kind of went off on SSRIs last week. I don't remember. Recently, at least. Drugs are good. I'm glad we have the drugs that we have, and there are people that very much need them, and we can't take that away from them. It's a tough thing, right? If I'm depressed and my doctor recommends antidepressants, he knows best, right? Not necessarily. We've got to use our own opinion, okay? Not even a doctor can know you better than you. A doctor only knows that you're in pain if you say ow. Yeah. It's up to you. I'm not against them. I definitely don't want to talk anyone into not taking them and be responsible for that. I'm not a doctor at all. I've done some studying on SSRIs, and I'm pretty knowledgeable of them over many years now. What I've noticed, we all react differently, Danny, all of us. We all react. We have different brains, and we react differently to drugs, for sure. SSRIs don't work for everybody, and they do work for some people. People that are very depressed, I don't blame them for taking that. We've got to get through this, yeah. If you're not really depressed, you might want to consider something else. If something else isn't working, consider something else. And if enough something else's aren't working, maybe the SSRIs will. What I have found with people like us that have been traumatized over long periods of time is that our receptors don't take it. They don't work. And this happens with other things like alcohol and drugs. They say they kill brain cells, but really they kill the receptors of our brain cells. And sometimes SSRIs don't work at all. And I know this because I'll talk to my clients who get on them and there's no difference. And then when they stop taking them, there's no difference. And that's profound because usually for most people, they can be very seriously depressed when they stop taking them. That's something to keep in mind. But we've got to feel better, whatever it takes. Okay, and if you have that thought, that if you believe that I'm willing, or if you're willing to do anything that it takes, however much work it is, how hard it is to talk about and try this and try that, because there are many things we can try to help us feel better when we're depressed before we take the SSRIs. And that would be the only recommendation that I ever make, is just make sure you try the other things that are available at least. You might want to, right? Wouldn't it be good if other things worked? Because SSRIs, and this is something very important to realize, that SSRIs are not a cure to anything. They may make someone feel better, and if we need that, take them. My best advice is to go with your doctor's advice, but really consider for yourself what's best for you. I'm amazed that a medical doctor is prescribing you and your family SSRIs, not a psychologist. That's interesting. And don't forget, this is a business. Doctors make a lot of money prescribing different drugs. Okay? Thank you, Danny. Many different things can help. I would find out what that is, see a professional that deals with depression. Talk therapy is number one. Nothing's better than that. No drugs. Thanks, Danny. Big Dave from Tennessee here. Hi, Big Dave. I've been out of range for a bit. Had a chance to check in for a few minutes. Watched your last video, the 2 types of BPD, and this video. Dude, I am totally confused. On this Q&A, you said that break up with me, it's forever. You won't ever hear from me again. That's right. And then on the BPD video, you said you believe in second and third chances. That's right. And that you have given more chance in the past. You got my head spinning on this one, buddy. Why? Before I even say anything, doesn't that make sense to anyone else? If you shoot me with a gun, I'm going to stay far away from you forever. Let's bring it down a notch. If you betray me and cheat on me and I catch you cheating on me, for me personally, that's a deal breaker. And if and when I commit to a woman, I let them know that. It's called a term. And I'll use my last one. If you break up with me, it's forever. We don't play that game. It's not an option. We're together for life. Every friend I make, every girlfriend I have, I plan on being with them for life. And I don't threaten leaving them. And it's not an option that I constantly let them know about. I don't think that. We're together forever. And if ever something happens bad enough, and we both realize that this relationship is not working, and we both tell each other the truth and end it and walk our separate ways, but that's the absolute very, very last option. And I let people know when I commit to them, if you tell me that you don't want to be with me anymore, then it's over. And if you break up with me, it's forever. Here's another example. I have a term that if you just disappear out of my life and not tell me where you are or why, and I can't find you for a couple weeks, it's over. Period. It's over. And when I date people, I let them know this. This is a term of mine and it's over. And I wait to make sure they agree on that. And then when they do it, it's over. But if we're in a fight, Dave, if me and my girlfriend are fighting and she says something I did was really stupid or calls me dumb, we can probably work through that. Right, Dave? Little gray area at all? Not taking what I say absolutely literal, I do believe in second and third chances, but not if you try to kill me, right? But if you call me a bad name, yeah. Why is that so hard to understand, Dave? Let me know. I'd like to know why that's difficult for you to understand, or if you understand that now. Thank you. And happy me. Hi, David from the UK. I thought you were going to answer my question on BPD and psychotic break. I'm sorry that I haven't. I've looked through the last 3 Q&As, last week, the week before, and the week before. I can't find any questions on psychotic breaks. And I may have even answered it and I can't find it. I'm really sorry. Can you just, and everybody, instead of telling me I missed a question, can you just ask me again? I've had people tell me that they've asked me a question on some random old video and I need to go find it. It's like, can you just ask me again? It's easier for me. And it for sure that I'll answer it. Let's see. Okay. So your last week question recommended 2 books, and you gave a sentence about your family or something, but I didn't get anything about psychotic breaks. And now I'm kind of remembering a question 2-3 weeks ago, something about that. About BPD, psychotic break. So psychosis, I think this is what you might be asking. Psychosis is a big gray area, okay? If we slip into psychosis, it doesn't mean we're psychotic forever. And a lot of psychotic people will slip in and out of psychosis. And borderline, even though it's an old term, now they use emotionally unstable personality disorder for different reasons. I've explained in other videos why. But borderline, the term, actually means it's on the line of neurosis and psychosis. Right on that line. Real easy, can slip in and out of psychosis, and a lot of borderlines do. It doesn't necessarily mean they're psychotic or need to be taking psychotic medications. Okay, there's things that get them that excited. If that's your question, let me know. If not, please ask me again, okay? Thank you, Happy Me. I still like your name. I'm really sorry I missed it. I want to answer it if I haven't. Hey, David, it's Frank from Florida. Hi, Frank. Thank you for all that you do in the community. You're welcome. Thank you for supporting what I'm doing. I recently broke up with my BPD girlfriend because she would not stop talking about other men even when we were lying in bed together. Good job. She would bring up her male friend she slept with. It's amazing. It's amazing. Guys, don't talk about past lovers and sex, people you had sex with. Why? Why would you want to know that? It's either gross or it's very insecure. And it probably won't help you feel better to know everything. People have past. We all do. You do. Right? Doesn't necessarily mean that's who we are either. We make mistakes. We do things that aren't, it doesn't best say who we are, especially when we're younger. I would never want to know anything about my wife's sexual history. No thanks. And I'm not going to tell her mine. Weird. It just seems like something we do, as teenagers or something. But she also would call me a baby when I told her some of her comments were offensive. Okay, if you offend me, it's emotional. We need to make this feel better. Calling me a baby makes it worse. We're done. Don't want to try? We're done. We're done. And how many second and third chances do you give to someone who just makes you feel better or makes you feel bad and not interested to make you feel better? I don't care. Just make you feel worse. Call your names. It's just abuse. Why do BPDs constantly triangulate everyone around them so naturally? Well, obviously, not all do. Not all constantly do it. But why do people triangulate? And it's about control. It's control. And the best way to control someone is emotionally. Right? I can try to stand by somebody and hold their hands and try to make them do what I want. That's not very easy. It's illegal. Get in trouble. But it won't work. Wait, right? It won't work. You could try to hypnotize them or something, right? The best way to control somebody is emotionally. If I accuse you of things, if I do things I know that make you angry, if I threaten to leave you, now I really like somebody else. These are just ways to control your emotions, to control you. People that do this feel out of control. They can't manage or control their lives. They're going to control you. Meaning, if I have massive fear of abandonment and insecurities, I'm not going to do anything about that. I'm going to make you fit that hole perfectly and do exactly what I want all the time. Reassure me. Nope, you don't need to go out today. Nope, screw your friends. You're cheating on me. I saw lipstick on her collar. I mean, they just do that to control you. It's called baiting. And if we react wrong, we're taking the bait. That's why I say don't really defend yourself if you didn't do something wrong. Why? If someone wants to believe it, let them believe it. Then decide if you want them in your life. I've spent years before trying to convince somebody I didn't do something wrong to them they thought I did. And I would always see them and I'd always bring it up and I'd say, God, it would just kill me. Long time ago. Today, you want to believe something? Go ahead. I told you I didn't do it. You don't believe me? That's fine, but you can't be in my life. We're not going to continue like that. We can't fix it. Something happened. It's too bad. Can't work it out. So, constantly triangulating is constantly controlling. Thank you. Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. Had my first cucumber out of my garden in Ohio. It was delicious. Yum. I like the little ones, right? Arabs will get the little cucumbers that aren't genetically modified and like this big. That's unnatural, guys. Cucumbers this big, that big. You know? Awesome. My question is, do narcissists sometimes feign stupidity to get out of doing things? Come on, Roy. Of course. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't know. Right? I feel like my husband did this. Oh, I guarantee you. He did this. He wasn't as stupid as he led on to believe. Maybe stupid, but no one that toxic is that stupid. Sometimes they pretend. He would often clean up things that clearly needed a disinfectant with just water, such as urine, etc. I think you get the point. I do, and I'm not going to read the rest of your comment because I don't want people to get a visual that will not leave their brains for the rest of my video. Looking forward to Q&A Monday. Thanks, David. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Thank you, Rory. Of course they do. Well, I don't know. Isn't that the best answer, right? Don't ever say that. I don't know. Well, I thought that works. I thought that once you don't see the urine, then it's gone. Oh, you don't really need cleanser. And they've known that you do their whole life since they're a kid. You don't really have to. That's stupid. Not on the toilet. Why would you need to? We already cleaned it every once in a while. I just wiped it off. It's just some urine on the toilet seat. Just sit on it. Disrespect, lazy, and acting stupid. 3 things, 3 qualities about somebody I don't want in my life. Let's see, this is... I don't know who this is, but, and I'll probably get this wrong, the city, Alsace, France, but currently living in Canada. The name of your channel is Sir Natural M. Hello, Mr. Mars. I'm 48 and just passed a bunch of tests. They discovered that my brain didn't function properly. I was told by a professional years ago that I have autism, but now a few months ago they told me that I have an abnormal amygdala, and they basically don't and never worked properly. It makes me physically incapable of feeling certain emotions. I do like narcissistic people because I always make them do what I want them to do, or when they annoy me, I can put them in trouble very easily. They dance to my tune every single time. I don't have any diagnostic yet. I only got a few MRI scans of my brain and a few tests with situational questions. I always felt different, but it didn't bother me much. But since I have adult kids who are the rare people I do care about, I don't want to hurt them more than I already have. What do you think I have? And how do I should act with my kids? There are reasons why I wanted to know what I have. I don't really care otherwise. Thanks. I like your videos. You have great humor. Thank you. I must say that I'm pretty good at emotions make-believe. I don't feel anything, but with my kids, I try to react and say what most people would act like and say. I don't want them to be scared of me, but if it's something serious, like a genetic issue, I want them to be aware of it. The reason is that the professional refuse to tell exactly what I have, no matter what. That's why I'm asking. I'm sorry. Go see another one. Right? I'm not a doctor. I'm definitely not going to tell you what I think you have. It's pointless, really. Yeah, get a second opinion. That's bizarre to me. They won't tell you. That doesn't even make sense. I'd get that in writing. Because that's weird. I'm guessing this is in Canada. Even though Canada is not the best country, still, expect more. I pay you. I can't fix it unless I know what it is. Tell me. What's wrong with me? Maybe they don't know. Maybe it's so rare they don't know. But get a second opinion, okay? And go talk to a psychologist. That might help. I don't know what you have. How would I know? You're describing symptoms that a lot of sociopaths and psychopaths have. Not very, very limited emotion, if any. But I don't know. There are all kinds of medical problems. It could be the problems with your amygdala. The prefrontal cortex is very similar to a lot of people who don't have much emotion capacity or empathy. Okay. This can be measured in borderlines, narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, histrionics, and many other people. But there might be real medical issues happening, so they happen, and that might be why. But demand to know, that's just weird. I've never heard that. I've heard of doctors not telling patients, but I've never heard of them saying, no, I won't tell you. That's weird. I don't know. I'm sorry. Your question about, I want to be better with my children, with my kids. Learn about parenting. We aren't really born great parents. There's a lot that we need to learn to be better parents, and everybody can be better parents. So why don't you learn? Why don't you read a book or something? I would talk to a professional, though, about this, okay? A psychologist, therapist, something like that, and go get a second opinion with your doctor and learn how to be the best dad you can be, okay? Okay, thanks for your question. Sorry I couldn't help you more. It wouldn't be right for me to tell you what's wrong with you, even if I thought I knew, which I don't. How would I know? I mean, your doctors won't even tell you. How am I supposed to know? Hello, David, Healing Family from California. Hi, Healing Family from California. As you know, it's been a tough healing journey for me and the kids. Yes, kinda. I know a little bit. It's slowly getting better. Good. It will keep getting better. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, at least. But the fear I have inside of me doesn't get better. As you remember, I get a lot of fear when he tells me he's going to take me to court for kids. The healing is getting better slowly, but the fear seems to rise as time passes. What advice can you give me? Any recommendations on how to deal with feeling scared, heart racing, etc.? Please, any advice would help. Well, legally, why don't we go talk to a lawyer? Yeah, go find out what he can do, find out what you can do, find out what your rights are, and know all this. Because it really comes down to what we can control and what we cannot. And we do what we can, what we have some control over, and we just accept what we don't have control over. Because in the end, you're going to be okay, and your kids are going to be okay. If this person sometime in their life demands to see his children finally, and they go visit him for a little bit, they're probably going to be okay. Yeah, and so will you, and they'll come back to you. Okay, but go get legal advice. This is really about legal advice. As far as feeling scared, write down exactly what you fear, and be as specific as you can, and see if you're really scared of it, and what you can do about it, and what you can't. Your heart racing, etc. The best way to lower anxiety and your heart racing and stuff like that is just a little exercise, okay? Now, that's not really anxiety. You said your heart is racing and pounding. We might need to relax, but most likely we raise our heart rate, and that helps us feel better with anxiety and depression and fears. So raising your heart rate. Think of everything that makes you feel good. Sometimes with my clients, I make them write a feel-good list. A lot of times when we're down, when we're depressed, we don't think about these things. We don't force ourselves. We just don't want to do anything, right? Just sit there. But we can't. We can't accept these bad feelings. We have to do something about them. And there's a lot of things we can do. And I might tell you 10 small things. You're like, I don't see how that could work. I don't see how that could work. I don't see. What about all 10 at the same time? What about buying something you really like? What about eating your favorite food or snack? What about calling your best friend? What about petting your dog, taking a walk, raising your heart rate, eating? Eating helps. Drinking something, eating something helps. There's so many things we can do. There's natural supplements we can take. But most of all, I hope you are talking to someone. Don't do that to yourself, okay? You've been through a lot. You've expressed a lot here. Consider talking to someone. Okay? And get legal advice. A lot of these family courts, you can get help for free or cheap. All right? I wrote here, talk to someone and tell them. Contact a lawyer and find out what to expect if this happens and what your rights are. This usually feels better. Usually it does. You may be more scared of the unknown. Write it down. Be specific. What, and just be real certain that you're really scared of what you're thinking you're scared of. Don't make it general. We do what we have control over and then try to accept what we don't have control over. Okay? Because what else can we do about something we have no control over but worry? It's not going to serve us. Okay? A lot of things we don't have control over in the world, right? Talk to someone, feel better about it. Be prepared. Know your rights. Okay? Don't just sit there and be scared. Thank you. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. I often get random things wrong with me. My jaw feels tight and my face and lips feels tight. It itches or feels weird inside my stomach up to my chest. I don't know if it is a part of sinuses. I don't know either. Maybe stress, Emily. You've endured a ton of stress in your life up till now. And you know, enough stress, enough prolonged stress causes all kinds of problems. It's real common if we have CPTSD. I did. And it's real common to feel like you have all these symptoms of unknown diseases. Like there's no real disease I have. There's nothing wrong with me. I go to the doctor, says, hey, you're okay. But I feel like I'm dying. 100 different symptoms I can't stand, can't live with. It might be stress, Emily. Okay? Take care of yourself. I don't know what it is, though. I can't tell you. Oh, Happy Me. I got your question. Here it is. I would like to recommend 2 books, and you did. The Body Keeps the Score, and It Didn't Start With You. And then you said your third part was unhealthy, unhealed people are hurting so bad, so they take it out on anyone who's willing to take it. Boundaries and understanding is the key to live your best life. Just please ask me again, Happy Me, will you? I'm sorry to make you type it out again. I'll answer it, I promise. Thank you. Oh, and Happy Me is from New Zealand, North Island. New Zealand, North Island. That's my best try. That's it, guys. That's all of it. Please keep the questions coming. Let me know what you think of my answers, okay? All right? Have a beautiful week. Please love yourself first. Thanks.